game, another short turnaround into a Detroit team that's pretty high up on the table?
Yeah, it's a good team that we're going to be playing against. Obviously, don't do a don't concede a lot of goals. They're honest, hardworking, what we would expect having a manager like Deach. So we know it's going to be a tough test, but it's another chance to be at home here to play the way that we want to play, and we're certainly excited about that.
Do you feel like that's the biggest difference in maybe the away form versus the home form? Is just showing what you guys can do when the field is right in the game?
Yeah, listen, I'm not concerned about the away form the way other people are. I mean, we've played 5 on the road and we've lost 1 of them, and we're playing in environments that are a little bit more difficult to play the way that we want to play. But we've shown now, an ability to score a lot of goals. We've shown our ability to not concede many chances on the road. So being at home, it allows us to play a little bit more free-flowing. It allows us to move the way that we want to move, exploit spaces the way we want to exploit them. Our field is 10 yards bigger than going to Detroit, for example, or wider. So these things make a difference. But the group has shown the ability to fight, to play good football, and we're really happy with where we are. But the messaging has been and continues to be that every single point matters, that no complacency can set in, and we need to make sure that we come back here at home on Wednesday and put in an attacking performance that we can be just as proud of as we were the defensive side of the ball on the weekend.
You guys have lost, has had some turnover in the last few years. Some leaders have moved on, or maybe been injured. Have new guys emerged as leaders, or is it as much a team thing as anything?
Yeah, I think we went, I certainly went through a growth process here in the offseason of how I was going to approach it going into this season with so many new players. We've been really happy with really how the players have taken on board some of the exercises and some of the things that we do in order to continue to work on leadership and where we can be better, where they can be better. From our leadership group in particular, we have a new player in that group, right? And there's a reason for that. We tried to do a better job this year of making sure we were integrating all facets of the locker room to have a voice. And I feel that everybody has really bought into that. So when you look at the new players that have come in, I wouldn't say they're new anymore, obviously, but these guys are experienced. These guys that have played a lot of games and worn armbands at different clubs, and I think that's really beneficial when you're bringing in guys that have been in leadership roles at other clubs as well. And so then it's about coming in, getting the guys to trust you, and I think the entire group, all the players that are new this year, have certainly done that.
You feel like it says about your team when you can say, okay, the result in Vegas, the defense has to get better. You come back the very next week, and it's no shots on target again. So it's that sort of response and maybe coachability.
Yeah, I think it's their ability to take in information, to execute throughout the week in training. From a defensive standpoint, against Rhode Island, the guys executed to the T what we worked on. And as I said, from an attacking standpoint, it'd be one thing against Rhode Island if it was just us who had the ball getting stuck underneath their feet, but it's both teams. And the reason I said what I said in the post-match is because it's what's happened. 3 out of their 6 home games have been 0-0 draws for a reason. It's not an easy place to go. And the ones that weren't, there was rain and it was a lot more wet. We were happy and proud of the fight and the ability to deal with travel and all the things that we can't control. But to get out of there with a point, make sure we come home healthy, ready to go again, that becomes most important. Once that game ended, the focus was on Detroit.
How much of an advantage is that you've kind of already proven that you guys can score a lot of goals and maybe win those type of games, and then you can also kind of grind it out like you have?
Yeah, me and the staff spoke kind of at length about that, and we spoke to the players about it. We're getting results in different ways, and I think that's a sign of a very good team. When you look at El Paso and Loudoun, we defended the box really, really well. We fought for 90 minutes. We weren't conceding easy chances for the opponent, and that's probably a lot different than you saw at home, where you're in control and you're up 3 goals and you're still playing good football and creating opportunities. Whatever the challenge is, these guys answer the call up to this point. But the focus has been continuing to make sure that we're 10 games into the season. There's a lot of football left to be played. We're not content by any means. We want to keep getting better, and that's why after Vegas we wanted to improve defensively. We did that. Well, going into Detroit, we needed to improve, obviously in the final third and in transition. And so these are the things we've talked about over the last 2 days, including today, and then going into tomorrow, making sure that we execute those things.
Just finally, you always talk about quick turnaround and the challenges that presents. But there are guys out here who love quick turnaround and want to play games. Are there advantages for you as well?
Yeah, I think with this group particularly, they've shown, whether we're flying to Seattle, playing 120 minutes and coming back 2 days later and playing a game against Orange County, they want to be on the field. They want to play. They want to be in front of our fans, and that's something that's exciting about this group. I have to pull them off the field every day, and in the past, it's not always been the same. And then on top of that, we understand that there is an advantage to the fact that Detroit didn't play on the weekend, right? They didn't have to travel. They didn't have to play a game. So they'd be a little bit, their legs will probably feel a little bit better than ours. But if we're good with the ball and we play the way that we know we're capable of, that's not going to be an excuse for us. I think the game against Detroit is a good opportunity for the group to again show that it doesn't matter if 3 games in a week or if it's 2 or if we travel halfway across the country. It's about us and doing things the right way. Good.